All right, Shawn Porter, Saquon Jones with the Boxing Voice. How you doing, man?
Doing good, boss.
I haven't seen you since last January when you got mad at me at the barbershop conversation.
I know. Everybody else got mad at you. You know what I mean? I was just like, honestly, I was like, never again, never again. Not that I wouldn't invite you, but it was just honestly, it was a lesson for me. The whole barbershop thing, it makes sense.
Yeah.
But the lesson that I learned is, while this is free for all, we say whatever we want to say and talk about whatever we want to talk about, there still has to be a level of professionalism. Not that you weren't a professional.
Oh wait, I wasn't.
Not that you weren't a professional, okay. But I definitely think that, you know what I mean, that it was a whole lot of Saquon happening. And yo, when you was gone, people was like, yo, why you even let him in? I was like, good dude. He's knowledgeable. Apparently, he got too much knowledge, So, but it was fun, and well, we're doing one this week. If you want to, you're more than welcome.
In New York City,
absolutely.
Oh, then yeah, I'll give
Brooklyn,
you my number.
man,
I live in Brooklyn. I'm from Queens. I'm a native New Yorker. The only time I've ever left was for college.
Where we at? Yeah, I'll let you know where we at.
Yeah, I'll give you the information before we head out, and I'll come through.
I don't want your number.
I'll be less.
I don't want your number. I don't want your number.
I'll be less knowledgeable next time.
Nah, you good, boss.
Let me ask you a question that's a little off the cuff, though. You ready?
Yeah.
Why do you, as a former PBC fighter, why do you think PBC gets the amount of attention and hate that it gets as a promotion?
Funny. You said, wow. I think, simply put, it's funny, man. I think it's really just the source that's behind PBC, the source that's behind everything that kind of got going with the whole PBC brand. I truly think that because you can't see Mr. AH and because you can't touch him, you have a problem with him. You know what I mean? I really truly think that that's what it is, but now it just becomes the trickling down effect, where if you're a part of that, it's like something right or wrong about you. You know what I mean? Everything went right with me, So when you look at my career and you say, man, he fought them all, he's a Hall of Famer, so on and so forth, PBC was behind all that, you know.
And so can you, for the people who may be wondering, just can you sort of explain from a PBC side, you may not be able to speak for all the fighters, the long layoffs in between fights? Can you maybe make sense for people who are always trying to make sense of why, say, a Gary Antoine Russell isn't fighting?
Yeah, man. Or especially with him, I'm not really sure why he's not fighting, but just as a whole, I really don't know. I can't personally say why these guys aren't fighting as much as they should. I just think that...
Is that a strategic thing, you think? Like, say, for instance, Danny Garcia...
Could be. I don't know. Especially with Danny. Like, I don't know. Danny been out of the ring for 2 years, I think. It's just too long.
All right.
I really don't have the answer to that one.
Would it be some sort of maybe potentially saving the best for the back end of their lives? I mean, you've been in some wars and you still have, all your faculty with you. I haven't really seen any PBC fighters in any sort of financial or physical or cognitive disarray. Could that be a greater...
Could be a part of it. Could definitely be a part of it. I think that when it comes to, again, PBC, I know personally that one of the main objectives for Premier Boxing Champions was to make every fighter a premier fighter and make every fighter a champion. Make sure that every fighter gets the most financially, and of course look out for the health as well of every PBC fighter. So in terms of, I do know that that's always been a part of the mindset of the PBC brand. I don't know if they've swayed away from that at all, but I do know that definitely is important to everybody who's a part of PBC.
And one last question. Ness is going to probably be pissed when I ask this question. He and I have this discussion on how...
Hit him up. I ain't talked to him in a minute.
Yo, he's good. He'll be looking forward to speaking to you.
Yeah, I got to talk to him.
All right. Yeah. This whole mind game thing only occurs when it comes to African-American fighters.
Does it? Is it?
Well, you understand, like, if Danny Garcia is... I mean, if Ryan Garcia is doing all of this stuff, somehow he's playing mind games with Devin Haney. If Deontay Wilder fights, Fury, somehow it's mind games. but if Fury is going against Usyk, there's no such thing as mind games in the promotion. There's no such thing as mind games when, you know, two, you know, Mexican or Latin fighters fight against each other. As an African American fighter, you know, I don't really remember a lot outside of Danny Garcia. You pretty much fought.
That was the one I was actually thinking about.
Yeah.
I felt like I actually just told that story about when I jumped in the ring and called him out. Everybody, you know, there was a lot of different narratives. What was it that got me that fight? I think it was the timing that got me that fight. But, you know, the fact that I did get in the ring and call him out on live television, it wasn't orchestrated, it wasn't set up, it wasn't scripted. It was very real. And I think when you talk about the mind games, I think that really got to him and made him. Fighter calls you out in the middle of the ring in front of everybody, you got to answer to it. So if anything, I thought the mind game got going with him in terms of making that fight happen. But yeah, I never really looked at it that way. You're right. Like when it comes to that fight specifically, Wilder and Fury, it's like, well, it's the mind games. I think Fury's the same Fury when it comes to promoting a fight with Usyk.
Well, you could even speak to, say, everybody saying that Ryan Garcia is playing mind games with Devin Haney with all of the outlandishness.
Oh yeah, for sure.
So I mean, it doesn't necessarily have to stay to Fury and Wilder. But.
Yeah, but I think that was a part of your question though. It's like, why is it when it comes to black fighters, why is it looked at as a mind game?
Yeah.
But when it comes to other fighters, it's not. I think that's a fake narrative. So what does Ness say about that? It's a fake ass narrative you're trying to pull me into, man. I'm not doing that.
You wanted one of the best ever. So whatever
one more
goes, man. All right, thanks a lot, man.
What up, YouTube family? Don't forget to hit that like button. Subscribe to the YouTube channel. Help us get to that 1 million subscribers. We're on the road to 1 million. And obviously, we have other great content on our Patreon channel. So since this video is over, head on over to our Patreon and check out all the exclusive content or right here on our YouTube members.